While Asia dominates headlines with skyrocketing skyscrapers and booming billionaires, a starkly different reality unfolds just meters away. Beneath the neon glow lies an alternate universe where survival is a daily battle against staggering inequality. If you want to uncover more hidden stories shaping our world, make sure to subscribe to our channel for in-depth explorations every week. In Asia's largest slums, millions inhabit a world built from cardboard, rusted tin, and sheer resilience. Here, what wealthy urban centers cast aside as useless filth becomes the literal lifeline for an invisible workforce. This is an unfiltered journalistic dive into the hidden depths of these massive settlements, exposing how thousands of families must rely on the world's waste just to see tomorrow. If you find this journey eye-opening, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. What are your thoughts on this stark urban divide? Let us know in the comments below. Your engagement helps us bring more hidden stories to light. Dharavi, the poor heart of Mumbai, India. Imagine for a moment a space barely over 2 square kilometers where more than 1 million people are packed together, fighting for every single square inch of breathing room. Welcome to Dharavi, a staggering maze of corrugated iron and narrow alleys, located right in the geographical heart of Mumbai, India's financial powerhouse. To the untrained eye, it looks like an endless sea of deprivation. This is a place where a single public toilet serves hundreds of residents, and open sewers run parallel to makeshift homes. Yet if you look closer, a fascinating economic paradox reveals itself. Dharavi is not just a symbol of poverty, it is a hyperactive hive of informal industry. This single settlement generates an estimated $1 billion in annual revenue through thousands of hidden microscale enterprises. The backbone of this economy is waste. Every single day, hundreds of tons of plastic, metal, and cardboard discarded by Mumbai's upper class are brought here. Step inside the dark, unventilated workshops and you will see workers, often operating without any protective gear, sorting, washing, and melting down plastics into reusable pellets. They transform the city's trash into raw manufacturing materials, proving that Dharavi is a vital organ keeping Mumbai environmentally afloat. The people here are not passive victims of destiny. They are the ultimate survivalists, turning the detritus of consumerism into a highly organized, multi-million-dollar recycling empire that feeds families and sustains generations against all imaginable odds. Orangi Town, a city within a city in Pakistan. Our journalistic investigation next takes us northwest to the coastal megacity of Karachi, Pakistan. Here, sprawling across thousands of acres, lies Orangi Town, frequently cited as the largest informal settlement on Earth, home to an estimated 2.44 million people. This is a human landscape so vast that it has evolved into a functioning city within a city born out of rapid urbanization, geopolitical shifts, and a total collapse of official municipal planning. When you walk through the dusty sun-baked streets of Orangi Town, the sheer scale of government absence becomes glaringly obvious. For decades, the state provided virtually no water, electricity, or sanitation. But instead of succumbing to despair, the residents took matters into their own hands, launching one of the most famous grassroots engineering projects in modern history. Through the Orangi Pilot Project, regular citizens funded, designed, and physically dug their own underground sewage lines for over 100,000 homes. Despite this incredible display of community resilience, daily survival remains a brutal. Economic opportunities are, well, pretty scarce, and an enormous segment of the population relies on the informal waste economy just to survive. If you want to see more stories like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel for future episodes. Thousands of families spend their days salvaging recyclable materials from Karak's overflowing dumping grounds, sorting through hazardous debris just to earn a few rupees. Orangi Town stands as a monument to human self-reliance. Korail, the largest slum in Bangladesh. In the center of Dhaka, one of the fastest-growing and most densely populated megacities in the world, a deep body of water separates two entirely different realities. On one side, sit the upscale, air-conditioned diplomatic zones of Gulchen and Banani. On the other side, accessible only by flimsy wooden boats, sits Korail, the largest slum in Bangladesh. It is an urban island of poverty, completely isolated from the luxury that surrounds it. Home to over 100,000 climate refugees who fled rising sea levels and river erosion in rural districts, Korail is a dense tapestry of shacks built from bamboo, plastic sheets, and scrap wood. The living conditions are perilous. Fires regularly sweep through the packed structures, and, during the monsoon season, the contaminated lake water rises, flooding homes with raw sewage and industrial chemical runoff. So, how do the people of Korail survive in this high-risk environment? They form the invisible, underpaid backbone of Dhaka's economy. The men and women living here cross the water every morning to work as domestic maids, rickshaw pullers, and garment factory workers. A massive portion of the community, however, finds sustenance directly in the waste sector. Children and elders can be seen scouring the city streets for discarded plastic bottles and scrap metal, bringing them back to Korail's informal sorting hubs. It is a world where the margin between survival and disaster is as thin as the tin roofs overhead. Tondo, the Smoky Mountain of the Philippines. Let us travel across the sea to Manila, the hyperdense capital of the Philippines, where the gap between the ultra-rich and the destitute is carved deeply into the landscape. Nowhere is this division more heartbreakingly visible than in the district of Tondo. For decades, the international community knew this area by a hauntingly poetic name, Smoky Mountain. This was a literal towering mountain of decomposing municipal garbage that burned constantly from internal methane fires, casting a permanent toxic haze over the thousands of families who lived directly on top of it. Though the original mountain was officially closed by the government, the dark cycle of survival did not stop. It simply migrated to nearby sites like Pier 18 and Happy Land, where the grim reality of human endurance continues unabated. Here, life is dictated by the arrival of garbage trucks from Manila's affluent neighborhoods. The moment the trucks tilt their beds, a sea of men, women, and young children swarms the fresh piles. Armed with nothing but metal hooks and bare hands, they are searching for anything that can be monetized. Plastic bottles, aluminum cans, and discarded electronic wires. But perhaps the most shocking aspect of survival in Tondo is pug, a term that translates to shake off dirt. This refers to discarded meat scavenged from fast food restaurant trash bags, which is carefully washed, recooked in boiling oil, and sold to starving families for a few cents. It is a striking testament to human resilience, where the literal scraps of the wealthy become the vital nutrition keeping a community alive. Our next investigation brings us to the rapidly sinking megacity of Jakarta, Indonesia, where climate change and urban overcrowding have created a crisis of apocalyptic proportions. If you want to stay informed about pressing global issues like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth stories. In the heart of this metropolis, tightly packed along the banks of the notorious Ciliwung River, lies the historic informal settlement of Kungpulo. This is a community defined by its proximity to water, but not the clean, life-giving water of nature. Instead, residents live beside a thick, slow-moving black sludge, entirely choked with plastic bags, domestic waste, and industrial chemicals. During the annual monsoon season, Kungpulo transforms into a waterlogged nightmare. As the river swells, toxic floods inundate the low-lying houses, sometimes rising up to the second floor. The water brings with it thousands of tons of floating garbage from upstream, trapping residents inside a floating sea of refuse. Yet, the people refuse to abandon their homes, displaying an almost unimaginable adaptability to this hostile environment. Survival in Kampung Pulo requires constant vigilance against disease and economic ruin. With formal employment out of reach for most, the local economy revolves around the river's pollution. Many residents make a living by skimming the black waters, pulling out plastics and metals that can be sold to local recycling middlemen. They live in a permanent state of precariousness, building their lives on the literal edge of an ecological disaster zone, serving as a warning sign of what happens when urban planning fails to keep pace with human population growth. Bantar Gebang, life beside Indonesia's largest landfill. Just a short drive outside the glitz of Jakarta lies a landscape that looks like a dystopian film set. This is Bantar Gebang, one of the largest open-world landfills in the entire world, stretching across more than 100 hectares. The garbage here has grown into massive artificial mountains rising up to 15 stories high. It is a monument to modern consumerism, receiving over 7,000 tons of fresh waste every single day from the capital city. But Bantar Gebang is not just a dump, it is a fully functioning ecosystem populated by an estimated 20,000 people who live, sleep, and raise children directly at the base of these garbage cliffs. The air is thick with a suffocating stench, and the ground is saturated with black leach liquid. Heavy excavators roar continuously, moving trash across the hills, while thousands of waste pickers scramble between the machinery, risking their lives to snatch valuable materials. The children of Bantar Gebang grow up in a world where the horizon is made of trash and the wind carries a permanent mist of methane gas. Informal schools have popped up near the site, trying to give the next generation a way out, but the pull of the landfill is strong. A family working together can earn just enough to eat by collecting plastic, meaning that school is often sacrificed for immediate survival. It is a place where human existence has been entirely adapted to the waste of others, a raw and unfiltered look at the heavy human cost behind the convenience of modern city life. Kong Toli, the dark shadow of Bangkok. We now shift our lens to Thailand, a country celebrated globally for its vibrant tourism, majestic temples, and luxury shopping districts. Yet just a few minutes' drive from the gleaming air-conditioned malls and upscale hotels of downtown Bangkok lies Kong Toi. This is the capital's oldest and largest informal settlement, housing over 100,000 people packed into a dense, sprawling grid beneath the shadow of elevated expressways and towering luxury condominiums. The contrast here is visually arresting. On one side of the main road, wealthy shoppers spend hundreds of dollars on luxury goods. On the other side, families live in a maze of wood and rusted corrugated iron roofs built over stagnant, polluted swamplands. To explore more stories like this, subscribe to our channel and stay informed about life on the margins in Southeast Asia. Because the land belongs to the Port Authority of Thailand, residents live under the permanent threat of eviction, creating a psychological state of instability that defines daily life. With limited access to formal jobs, a vast majority of Kong Toi's population relies on the city's informal labor market. Men work as low-wage dock laborers or motorcycle taxi drivers, while a massive network of women and children works through the night sorting the city's commercial waste. They collect discarded plastic containers, glass bottles, and cardboard boxes from Bangkok's tourist districts, bringing them back to the narrow alleys of the slum to be cleaned and sold. Kong Toi serves as a powerful reminder of urban stratification, where the poorest residents are forced to live invisibly, cleaning up the waste of a booming economy that refuses to officially recognize their presence. Sodala, Nepal's unseen urban struggle. Our investigative journey moves north into the landlocked nation of Nepal, entering the ancient valley of Kathmandu. While famous for its spiritual heritage and proximity to the Himalayas, the capital faces a severe, quiet crisis of rapid, unregulated urbanization. Tucked away along the banks of the highly polluted Bagmati River sits Satala, one of the region's largest and most neglected informal settlements, populated primarily by low-income internal migrants. Families come to Satala fleeing rural poverty, political instability, and the devastating long-term impacts of natural disasters in the mountains. What they find, however, is a brutal struggle for basic human dignity. The settlement lacks basic municipal infrastructure. There is no reliable system for clean drinking water, no formal electrical grid, and a severe shortage of healthcare clinics. The houses are fragile shelters constructed from mud bamboo and recycled plastic sheets that offer little protection against the freezing winter nights or the torrential monsoon rains. Survival in Satala is, well, a test of daily endurance. Because the residents lack official legal identity documents tied to the city, they're barred from formal employment. Instead, they form a vast network of day laborers, street vendors, and waste salvagers. Every morning before the city even wakes, workers from Satala comb through the riverbanks and public trash bins, collecting metals and plastic containers. It's a harsh, cyclical existence where the hope of a better life in the capital is constantly weighed against the daily reality of living on the absolute margins of society. The floating communities of Tonle Sap, Cambodia. We travel next to Cambodia, home to the magnificent temples of Angkor Wat, but also home to a unique and deeply vulnerable human ecosystem. This is the Tonle Sap, the largest freshwater lake in Southeast Asia. Here, tens of thousands of people, including many stateless ethnic Vietnamese refugees, live in completely floating villages. These are not traditional slums built on land. These are communities where entire lives are lived on fragile wooden houseboats and rafts held together by plastic barrels. Life on the Tonle Sap is dictated entirely by the unusual rhythm of the lake, which, changes direction and swells up to 6 times its size during the rainy season. Because these communities are completely isolated from the mainland, they lack access to public sewage systems, clean running water, or electricity. The very water people use for cooking, bathing, and washing clothes is the same water where raw waste and chemical fertilizers from nearby agricultural fields are dumped.